Law and order
violating law.
Law and order is not having a judge who donates to the political opposition to Donald Trump and then tries to throw Donald Trump in jail. That's the opposite of law and order.
$15 donation.
J.D. Vance was there talking to Wolfe Blitzer about this whole Trump situation with these 34 charges. And the whole thing that I have to remember about all this is only one of 4 trials. He's still got quite a ways to go. We're only a quarter of the way there.
Against him.
Wolf, I am absolutely supporting Trump because I think he will make the American people's lives better. But again, this is so much bigger to me than Donald Trump. I woke up heartbroken for our country because the precedent set is that if you don't like somebody's politics, you should use the American system of law and order to try and destroy them.
See, this is what I call a lot of words without saying anything at all. The judge heard the case, but the jury was the one that made the decision. The judge instructed the jury to make their own call. They deliberated. They thought about everything that was going to happen. They thought about all the evidence that was presented to them. They deliberated. They thought about all the evidence that was presented to them and then came to their conclusion from that. On top of that, when you weigh the evidence, the question is, did he actually do the things that's being alleged that he did? Because if he did, then what's the argument, Mr. J.D. Vance?
The American system of law and order to try and destroy them. That's 250 years of legal tradition. The Biden folks are tearing it up to win an election, Wolf. That is what really bothers me.
Whatever happened to the Republican Party being the party of law and order?
We are the party of law and order, but you can't have law and order.
No. See, you can't consider yourself the party of law and order because it almost sounds like it's only law and order when it works in your favor. That's actually what it sounds like. So I wonder if Hunter Biden, Lord knows he actually does need to get convicted, if they say that Hunter Biden is guilty, does that mean that law and order all of a sudden works? On top of which, going to the statement that I put out earlier, the jury heard the trial and they made their determination. What you're now getting ready to do is run an officially convicted felon. The onus is now on you to prove that everything that the jury heard was false. And if you can't prove that the jury is just false, then this is really all just hot air.
This former president has been convicted 34 times.
Law and order
violating.
Are all those 34 convictions, are they all just wrong?
Law and order is not having a judge who donates to the law and order.
Violating law.
Law and order is not having a judge who donates to the political opposition to Donald Trump and then tries to throw Donald Trump in jail. That's the opposite of law and order.
$15 donation.
Come on, man. No. You have to be kidding. Let me just rewind that because that has to be false. I know I didn't just hear Wolfe say this is a $15 donation
to Donald Trump and then tries to throw Donald Trump in jail. That's the opposite of law and order.
$15 donation.
Okay. A $15 donation. The only out that J.D. Vance really has here is by stating that regardless of the amount, the intent is still there. So even if it's just a $15 donation, it could be a $5 donation. The intent is still there. He still donated. Now, the only thing that we would have to prove then is that there is some bias in the judge's decisions. But again, it wasn't just the judge that made the determination. This is also the jury that was involved. The jury heard the case. And when the jury heard the case, they have to now make the determination, is he innocent or is he guilty? After hearing all of the evidence, after hearing from all the witnesses, and then going in the back to deliberate, they came to the conclusion, we weighed everything, and he's guilty. Now, what he's trying to do is say that this is a sham court. It's a kangaroo court, as they would call it. This has all been falsified, but he's not giving any evidence. He's just saying this person is, I guess, the deep state. That person's the deep state. This person is in on it. Like, this whole thing is just one large conspiracy. That's called hot air.
A $15 donation combined with, he said that he wanted to fight Donald Trump. His daughter has made almost $100 million fundraising for Democrats.
What's your point? What's the actual point that's being stated there? I've heard this point as well, that his daughter has made some contributions in raising funds. What's the problem? Is the thing that's being stated that his daughter made a donation, so therefore he can't be impartial. The insinuation behind this is that his daughter made a contribution. Now, your daughter is allowed to have her own political views, but her own political views, even though they may line up with her dad's, it has nothing to do with proving that the judge can be impartial. Stating that his daughter has her own political leanings has nothing to do with her dad. Her dad has a job to do.
Fundraising for Democrats, Wolf, every single thing about this points to the fact that this was a political sham prosecution. Now, it's not just the judge's financial interests, his commitment to Democrats, multiple reversible errors. Why didn't they change the venue?
Why do they have to change the venue? You have to give a compelling reason as to why they should change the venue. If they feel that you can have court here and you just don't like the judge, it's not really the judge's issue. Your day in trial is set. You have to give a compelling enough reason as to why they need to change the venue.
Why didn't the judge give accurate jury instructions? Why didn't they?
Now, I actually have to look into this part. It seems like the instruction that he's talking about is the fact that the judge told the jury to treat Donald Trump like a normal citizen. It's stated right here. It's not my responsibility to judge the evidence here. It's yours, Judge Merchan said. You are the judges of the facts, and you are responsible for deciding whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty. He goes on by later on stating, there is no particular formula to determine a witness's credibility, Merchan said, and you may consider whether the witness has any interest in the outcome of the case, another matter that might weigh on jurors' minds. From everything that I've read so far, it seems like he instructed them just fine. So what's the issue?
They charge him with something more than a paperwork violation. The entire argument.
It's not just a paperwork violation, and if it was just a paperwork violation, why wasn't this proven in court?
Of this case is that Donald Trump should go to prison because an employee of his filled out paperwork the wrong way.
I can't even get away with leaving $1 off of my taxes. For someone who makes the claim, I only hire the best, you would figure that you'd have some checks and balances. You'd figure that you'd have some quality checks along the lines to make sure that the paperwork is done right, everything is filed properly, all the finances are all properly distributed evenly towards where they need to be. Make sure I have my finance team in order. Make sure I have my marketing team in order. Make sure I have my PR team in order. Make sure I have this, that, and the other. Everyone is where they need to be doing their job, doing their part. Now, if you have one person who's supposed to be an expert and they make a mistake, you being the one in charge, does the onus not all of a sudden go back to you? If you're the manager and something happens on your team, do you not catch the blame for it? You never, ever, ever blame the employee. That's called bad leadership. However, though, with all that stated, after all that I just said, I will still give the benefit of the doubt because after listening to this guy, I kind of understand. I really do understand a lot more as to why this whole thing failed. He doesn't even seem convinced.
How involved was Donald Trump in his own defense?
I mean, what do you think? I mean, very involved. And he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
But it's your job to tell him what to do. If he knew what he was doing, why didn't he just defend himself? It's your job to actually tell him, no, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. I'm going to say this. We're going to call this person. And this is what they're going to say. And that's how we're going to flow this. This is what you can expect when they cross-examine. This is what to expect on the stand. This is what you're going to say. I'm going to object here. Like, you need to 5 or 6D chess this. You don't just let him come and control what happens in court. So no, you can be involved in putting your opinion there. But it's my job to make sure that you go home. That's my job. And I'm sorry, what's his name, Todd Blanche? Yeah, he doesn't even sound like he believes the things that he's saying.
How involved was Donald Trump in his own defense?
I mean, what do you think? I mean, very involved. And he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He jokingly said to us a lot, sometimes he wanted to be the litigator. You know, he wanted to be the one that was actually arguing because he's a smart guy and he knows what he's doing. We made every decision together. We did, and there were things that he was frustrated with. You know, the judge, several months ago, there was we wanted to be able to argue reliance of counsel, that to some extent President Trump was relying on his lawyer, and the judge didn't allow us to do that, and things like that, where he would really push us and say, well, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? It was an honor for me to spend the last 6 weeks with him, defending him.
Even he recognized this lawyer's incompetence. Listen up.
The defense counsel we're talking about, Todd Blanche, did an interview on another cable news network this evening. I'll let you guess which one. And he said in that interview that every decision in the case, every substantive decision in the case is one that he made together with Trump.
Makes sense.
Well, I was going to ask you if you see Trump's fingerprints on some of the decisions that you're describing here.
Absolutely. The term gloat, it's a Donald Trump fourth grade playground bullying type of tactic. What's that?
Did you have an acronym for Todd?
I did. I was going to call him a sloat, which is the stupidest lawyer of all time. You cannot listen. You cannot listen to your client when you are trying to create a defense that is as important as this one is, the very first president of the United States, former president, to ever be charged with a crime, let alone convicted now on 34 counts. It was definitively the stupidest lawyer of all time.
I actually agree. In all actuality, I really do agree. I'm going to stop it there. Listen, let me know what it is that y'all think. Sentencing comes down pretty soon. Do y'all think he's going to see some time in jail? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. First time offender? Yeah, no way. But given the nature of how everything's worked out so far, I really wouldn't be surprised. So let me know your thoughts on this one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you guys again for the next one. Be easy, y'all.